Let's talk about innovation, but not as some kind of magical lightning-in-a-bottle moment. No, today we're going to treat it like an engineering project. We're going to build an innovation engine, piece by piece, from the ground up.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. In your company, when a great new idea really takes off, is that just a happy accident, a stroke of luck? Or is it the predictable result of a system that's been carefully designed? The answer to that question, well, it changes pretty much everything.
Because that's exactly what we're going to do in this explainer. We're going to move away from relying on luck and get into reliability. We're laying out the blueprint for a systematic, repeatable engine for innovation that honestly, any organization can build. So let's start with the person in charge, the architect.
You know, every great construction project has to start with an architect. And when you're building an innovation engine, that architect is always leadership. This is not a role you can delegate. It has to start right at the very top.
And listen to the language here. It doesn't say support innovation or encourage it. The source material is really clear. Leadership has to take accountability for how effective the system is. That's a huge shift in mindset. It means innovation is a core part of the job, right up there with financial performance.
So what does that accountability actually look like day to day? Well, it boils down to 5 key commitments. First, just owning it, taking full accountability for the results. Second, you got to foster the right culture. Third, you have to provide the resources. That means time, money, people. But that fourth one, that's where so many companies get stuck. You have to integrate innovation into your real business processes, so it's not just some side hustle. And finally, you have to always be looking for ways to make this system itself even better.
Okay, so our architect is in place. Now we need the actual plans. This is the strategic blueprint that's going to guide the whole project. And it really comes down to 2 key documents, your vision and your strategy.
First up is the innovation vision. Just think of this as the big, ambitious, why are we even doing this goal? It's a picture of the future that you're trying to create, and the key word here is that it has to challenge the status quo. I mean, if your vision doesn't feel a little bit bold, maybe even a little scary, it's probably not big enough.
And this comparison just nails it. If the vision is your destination, that shining city on a hill, then the strategy is the map. It's the step-by-step guide on how you're actually going to get there. And we absolutely have to have both. One without the other is just a pipe dream or, a road trip with no destination.
So, what's actually in a good map? A good strategy? Well, it clearly explains the why behind it all. It's not rigid, it's flexible, built to adapt when you get new feedback. It has crystal clear, measurable goals. And it gets down to brass tacks, outlining who does what and making sure the resources are there to make it happen. It's a real plan, not just wishful thinking.
All right, we have our architect and we have our blueprint. But even the world's greatest plans are pretty useless without a skilled crew who can actually build the engine. This is where getting roles and responsibilities right is absolutely crucial. Because you can have the most brilliant strategy ever written, but if people on the ground don't know exactly what their job is, what they're on the hook for, and what they have the authority to do, that amazing blueprint is just going to sit on a shelf and collect dust. Execution is really everything.
So here's a really simple way to break it down. Top management, they're still accountable for the big picture results. Then you've got your innovation leads who are managing specific projects. But check out that last row, because this is maybe the most important part. All employees. Their job? Contribute to the culture and share ideas. So the big takeaway here is that in a real innovation engine, it's not just the job of some special R&D team. Everyone has a role to play.
Okay, our engine is designed and the crew is all assembled. But before we flip the switch and turn it on, we need to stress test it. The final piece of this whole blueprint is planning for the unexpected, both the good stuff and the bad.
You see, effective planning here isn't just about avoiding problems. It's really a balancing act. On one side, sure, you're taking action to reduce risks and prevent things from going wrong. But just as important on the other side, you're looking for ways to grab those unexpected opportunities, the positive outcomes you might not have even seen coming.
So why go through all this trouble? Well, it's because this kind of proactive planning is what actually allows you to hit your goals. It helps you maximize your wins, minimize your losses, and this is the cool part, it helps you discover entirely new ways to get better that you probably would have missed otherwise.
And there you have it. We started with the leader as the chief architect. We gave them a strategic blueprint, a vision, and a map. We put together a skilled crew where everyone knows their role. And then we stress tested the whole design. That complete system,
That's how you get a truly well-oiled innovation machine. So I'll just leave you with this one thought. Every single organization has some kind of plan for innovation, even if it's just an unspoken one. So the real question you have to ask is your blueprint a living, breathing document that's actually driving your company forward? Or is it just sitting on a shelf somewhere gathering dust?